guys, welcome back to Stampaholics Anonymous. Today we are going to take the first look of many at those pop polish, holo polishes that I got for my birthday / our wedding anniversary. So there's 36 polishes total. I am not gonna I'm not gonna swatch 36 polishes all in one video, and I'm sure that you guys wouldn't want to, you know, sit down for approximately 2 hours at a time to watch all those swatches. So I decided to break them up by color. Meaning that we are going to end up with, hold on, 6 videos, which does not mean that I'm going to do 6 polishes per video, since the color distribution isn't even. So today we are going to start with the purple / pink range. As you can see here, there's 3 purples and there's 4 pinky shades. These do not all come from the same collection, I do believe. I do believe that Pop Polish has put out like several collections that included linear holos, or some of them are scattered. No, they're all linear. And some have shimmer in them, some have no shimmer in them. It really depends. So there's like stuff from several collections here, and I just decided to break them down by color range, so that you can just look at the color that's maybe your favorite, you know, and then over time we're just gonna have a little rainbow of pop polishes, holos. Okay, I hope that's okay with you. That's what we're going to do today. So today we are going to look at 7 polishes, and then in the videos to follow there's either going to be 6 or 5, depending on, you know, how many polishes I was able to group together. So let's look at these. First up we have this magenta-y kind of a thing. It's a linear holo which is called Heliotrope. Next up we have this deeper shade of a pink. It is really hard to tell what the base color is because they are so hollow that sometimes it's really hard to see, and then especially hard to like capture on camera what this color actually looks like. Anywho, this is Cherry Blossoms, very pretty. Next up we have this lighter pink version, which is called Station Quickie. Who wouldn't want to have that? I would. No, wow. I'm digressing. Next up we have this very light baby pink linear. Are you linear? Yes, I think it's a linear holo, which is called Fresh Picked Peonies. That's, you know, kind of a difference in naming the polishes right there. Next up we have the first of the purple polishes, which is called Uranus. Is a funny name. Funny. I think it must have, you know, been together in a collection with the Space Station Quickie, maybe something space related. I am going to look that up and try to like put everything into a collection so that you can, if you're interested, you know, can look up that whole collection. Next up we have this lighter purple, almost like a lavender, which is called Lavender Sachet or Sachet. Sachet is like Sachet is a running gag we have with a few of the people that we go to festivals with, and sachet was like our word of the festival for a couple of years now. So glad to have this one, Lavender Sachet. And next up we have this lighter version of a lavender, really light, and this one is called Lilac Bouquet. And I do think that this one maybe, I don't know, goes with the Cherry Blossoms, and that the Fresh Picked Peonies and the Lavender Sachet go together. I am just assuming by the font down on the bottom of the bottle. So there's 7 polishes for us to look at. I'm gonna get you know, get in live swatches of all of these, of course, like we usually do. You're gonna see a bunch of swatch pictures. Unfortunately, trying to figure out whether I'll be able to get some sunlight. I might. If I don't, you're just gonna see pictures in the softbox, so you're not gonna get like the full-on holo blindingness. But if I do catch some sun, I'm gonna, you know, insert some pictures of these in natural lighting. But, you know, I live in Germany and I don't live in California where there's like sun all year round, so I gotta make do with what I got. So I'm gonna set up for swatches and then meet you afterwards with my favorites.
Alright you guys, let's get this holo party started. We're starting off with the lightest one, Lilac Bouquet. Just a heads up, I'm probably going to repeat myself like a ton of times. I'm trying not to do that. If I don't have like anything new to add about a specific polish, I'm just gonna not say anything. one thing I noticed was that the formula was like really, really consistent all across the 7 polishes that I tried, meaning that whatever I'm going to tell you about this one does apply to the other ones. You can see that this one goes on kind of sheer on the first coat, but it is a very delicate and light color, but it's not like runny or like, you know, not staying where you put it on your nails. That's good and nice. Of course, you do have those long stems that pop polish has, so sometimes you're just going to end up with a droplet of polish that sneaks into your brush, and then you're going to have polish all over your cuticles if you're not mindful of the long stem. I did 3 coats on this to build up the color and to get it to, you know, a decent level of opacity. The swatch picture I'm going to show you is going to be without top coat. That goes for all of these polishes. 3 coats also goes for all of these swatches. Yeah, and that's pretty much all I gotta say about these polishes for now. Alright, moving on to a darker but still very light lavender sachet. Same deal here. Formula was pretty consistent. It took me 3 coats to get this to a decent level of opacity, but these polishes do dry fairly quickly like linear holos tend to do. It might have something to do with that holo pigment in there, I don't know. And the base isn't like really thick. So it dries down fairly quickly and it's easy to build up. It's not gonna like overwhelm your nails. It's just gonna look nice and decent even at 3 coats. So swatch pictures, 3 coats, no top coat. Alrighty, next up we have Uranus. Is a funny name. funny name. By the way, I am going to look up like all the collections. I'm gonna put it in the description box of this video, and I might also potentially like when I've done all the swatches, cut together swatches for the collections that these polishes came from and re-upload them that way, so you can, you know, go back and rewatch them by collection if you're interested in that. It might be a hell of a lot of work, but I'm thinking about it because once I've swatched all of them, I'm gonna have swatched all of the collections. But back to the polish. It took me 3 coats again to get this one to full opacity. I didn't mind doing it. 3 coats isn't overwhelming on the nails. Formula dries down, you know, really quickly. So by the time you do 3 coats of this, you know, a cream polish would still be drying 2 coats. Swatch picture, no top coat, 3 coats. I think I've said that. Yada, yada, yada. Formula is pretty consistent and consistently good. Okay, we're moving into the pinks. This very light pink one is Fresh Picked Peonies. Yeah, it's sheared on the first coat. I took 3 coats to build this one up to get it to a nice level of opacity. I did like this really delicate tone of pink, maybe because it went so well with my skin tone, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but something about this polish I really enjoyed. Formula, same as with the last polishes, consistently good all across these holo polishes. Dries down pretty shiny and quickly. Swatch pictures will be 3 coats with no top coat. Alright, we're moving on into something with more color. This one is Station Quickie, and this one almost had like a neon vibe to it, but still on the first coat it is pretty sheer, so it took me 3 coats to build it up. Like with the rest of the collection, I didn't mind doing the 3 coats. It didn't take up too much of my time. It was totally okay. Removal of these polishes, by the way, because by now I have removed quite a bit of it, is easy. It's really easy just using acetone. Of course, some of those little hollow glitter particles will stick to your cuticles. So, yeah, you just gotta keep that in mind and go wash your hands maybe with like a sugar scrub afterwards to get rid of those last final hollow glitters in your cuticles. Or not, if you're into that. I don't mind it. So, swatch picture of this one will also be 3 coats, but no top coat. Alright, next up we have Cherry Blossoms. This is more of a magenta reddish kind of a pink. Also a very pretty color. Same formula, sheer on the first coat, 3 coats to full opacity. Swatch picture will be with no top coat, but 3 coats of this polish. Yeah, be mindful of the long stem. I just gotta repeat that one more time, I guess, because that's something you can easily forget when working with these, and then you're like, bloop, there's a dollop of polish on your nails that you didn't want there, and you gotta, somehow clean that up and, swipe your brush and try to use that dollop and move it around a bit. So that's all I can say about this. Woohoo! This is the last of the 7 polishes. This is called Heliotrope. This one, funnily enough, I couldn't, put into any particular collection. At least it didn't say on Pop Polish's Etsy store. So I'm not going to have a collection name for this one in the description box. This is, I think, the darkest of the polishes that I've tried in this round. And it still took me 3 coats to get it to like the same color that I could see in the bottle. But like I mentioned 1,000 times before, I didn't mind doing those 3 coats. It's no issue whatsoever because it dries down so quickly and you can just, paint your nails, paint the other hand, go back to the first finger. It dries down that quickly. So no issues here. So swatch pictures, 3 coats with no top coat.
Alrighty, you guys, that were my swatches, and like I started doing recently, I left out the swatch base and swatched these on my natural nails. No base coat either, because that would be just an extra step that would have to dry. Removal was pretty easy, but my cuticles are now like glittery, like you do, when you have like a holo polish, there's always some of those teeny tiny glitters will stick to you. They just will. As you can see, I have bottles that have a silver dot on them and some bottles that don't. I was surprised that I ended up with more, silver dotted bottles than without. That was weird. Silver dot, of course, means these are my faves, and out of the bunch, out of the 5 that I marked as favorites, my absolute favorite was this pinky one, the Space Station Quickie. I mean, the name is a winner, but the polish also is. It just had this cool, like, neon vibe. That really spoke to me today. Maybe that's just, like a mood that I had today, but I really like that this is like a Barbie pink or neon pink, and then completely linear holo. I like this one a lot. Then of course I liked the darker shades because there's more pigment in them. I did do 3 coats for all of them just because, I mean, you probably couldn't see it like looking down through the camera, but in person I could kind of still see like my visible nail line when I went like that, or when the light hit it in just the right way. So I went ahead and did 3 coats even on the darker polishes, but I didn't mind doing that because I don't know, it's a thing with linear holo polishes, I think, because the base isn't as heavy, they dry fairly quickly. So did these, and they also dried pretty shiny on their own. I mean, I do take my swatch pictures, like I've mentioned before, right after I'm done swatching. So if you leave this to dry like completely down, and if you are to wear this out, of course I'm going to recommend putting a glossy taco on top, because you want to protect that holo goodness, right? But just know that all the swatch pictures have been without top coat. I'm probably gonna have said that like a bunch of times by now, but just know that. And then I was also surprised that I enjoyed this like blushy baby pink one. Why am I holding it so weirdly? Oh, God, woman, there. The fresh picked peonies. I really like that because it's like just the blushy pink that I really enjoyed. A very subtle color that just gives a hint of color with the linear holo, and I think it's because it went so nice with my skin tone, because I'm like a pink baby. Because I don't tan at all. I am tan actually, but it's like all I can do. Anywho, so these are my two top picks, and then I also have three other favorites. Like I said, all the darker colors. First up is Cherry Blossoms. I really enjoyed that hue of pink or magenta. I also like this purple, which is called Uranus. And then there's darkest one, which is called Heliotrope. But overall, I'm pretty happy. I've come to peace with P.O.P polish and their formula, because these holo formulas were like a hell of a lot better than everything we saw in the neons. Of course, you still get that long stem problem. So when you start painting your nails, always remember there is going to be polish running down that really long stem. So be sure to wipe that off before you start painting your nails, because at one point that, you know, amount of polish is going to just run down the stem and run into your brush, and then you're going to have a glob of polish on your nail. You don't want that. So just be mindful of that. You get used to it pretty quickly. I would compare these like to a China Glaze bottle. Let me pull out one, because they have the long stem problem as well, even though the bottles aren't as long, but the stem is kind of the same deal, and they have this like really thin brush, and sometimes you get the same issue. This bottle isn't full, so you can't really see the full effect, but sometimes you get the polish like on the stem, and then it runs down into your very thin brush, and that creates problems. And you probably saw it in my swatches. This stem is like really long, and if you hold the brush down like that, you can just wait for that one dollop of polish to reach the bristles, and then you're gonna have it on your nail. So just keep that in mind, and you can work around that. It's no issue. So I really like this first batch of holo polishes from P.O.P Polish. I'm gonna link her Etsy store down below. These are also 50 milliliters and pretty affordable for an indie brand. Shipping is free from a certain amount to Germany, that is. I think for if you live in the US, the shipping cost is like totally okay and totally, you know, doable, not outrageously expensive. Anywho, I can only recommend these. I love these. The formula was consistent and good all across the board. The linear holo effect was visible all across the board. I love that you can just stack these like this, and they don't take up so much space when you're storing them. Yes, we are going to look at my polish storage situation, but I do have a couple of things that I want to figure out on my desk first before I show you the whole shebang again, because I want it to be nice and tidy and good looking, and not just show you my polish wall and then a total mess on my desk and around it, for that matter. Yeah, so that's it for today, you guys. There's only a few little subscribers left until we reach 500 subscribers. So if you are watching one of my videos for the first time today, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because there is going to be a giveaway at 500 subscribers. Can't wait to do that, because I really want to show you all of the fun things that I have collected for you guys. And I also can't wait to try out my new background system that I have to film a video like with a, you know, professional background in 2 soft boxes. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, so I can't wait to do that. So make sure you're subscribed. And that's it for today, you guys. I love you very much, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!